What up, homies? It's your boy Stev, and welcome to The Bracket. Back in 2020, like most of the world, me and Ash didn't have a lot going on, so we decided to make a list of the 130 greatest movies of all time and pit them against each other, tournament style, to see which ones came out on top. We judged them against each other in 5 categories: production, writing, acting, originality, and rewatchability. Whichever movie took the most categories moved on. Don't get me wrong, it was rarely unanimous between us, but it was always a lot of fun. Just a heads up, we did record these a few years ago, so if the timeline feels a bit weird, that's why. If you want to check out the list of the 130 movies, I'll put a link to our website in the description below. So without further ado, let's all go back to the land of 2020, where all we did was sit at home, drink excessively, and watch flicks. Enjoy. Seven versus Memento. 7 versus Memento. And then I gotta say it backwards. I'm in the...
Nemen.
I know Nevis is 7.
Nevis.
Nevis versus nom nom.
Nom nom nom. Nemem. Nem nem versus Nemes.
No,
Nevis.
it's gotta be sv, not versus.
Okay, sorry.
I could just say the titles like...
You're doing your own rules to your own thing.
So, 2 of the greatest psychological thrillers ever created. Unless you say, would you say 7's more of a horror film?
No, I'll say it.
There's something about it that...
I'll say psychological and thriller.
Right? There's something about it that makes it not a horror film for me. I don't know why.
I wouldn't call Memento horror.
No,
film.
God, no. Memento's definitely a psychological thriller. So I
I
think...
wouldn't even call it a thriller, though. It's just psychological.
Oh, it thrilled.
Okay. Okay, relax.
All right.
But yeah, 7 is definitely more up that.
Because like, there's really
category.
nothing scary about it. There's nothing...
It's like, boo! Nothing like that.
No, but it's just fucking gruesome. It's graphic. But not even really all that graphic. You don't really see a lot of this shit. Anyway, what'd you think? 7 versus Memento. Here's the thing. Right off the bat, let's even fucking just get this out of the way. These are 2 movies that are really, really hard to talk about without spoiling shit. Like...
That's very, very fair.
So, just basic, what
We're
you
pretty
thought?
much going to have to go right away.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking we go basic, just like yay or nay on both movies.
Yeah.
And then we'll rank them, and then we'll just go straight to spoilers, because I want to talk some shit about these movies.
So, first off, I have a question.
What's up?
Were these on, like, your added list? Or were these actually on the number 100?
No, these were actually 2 on the 100 list.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
So, these are 2 movies that I have seen before, and I have seen them both many, many times.
Okay.
So, I know, surpriser, I saw
I'm fucking...
2 movies, okay?
Well, it's not just the fact that they're 2 movies. They're 2 very strange movies
Which
for
is
you to...
probably why I've
Right?
seen them.
That's true.
They're just, you know what? It's that psychological, because I watch all those crime shows and all the 7, I mean. Memento, it's just done so different. Where it was like, it just captivated me. Where it was like, the fact that it was backwards. I loved that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a movie that I actually love to explain to people. Like, people that are looking for something cool to watch. Like, oh, give me something that I've probably never seen before. I always throw Memento out there. And then I love to explain the idea that, I mean, again, this isn't a spoiler, but the movie's fucking backwards.
Right.
It starts out with the very last scene, and it goes to the beginning, yet somehow it fucking works as a movie in that order.
Don't know how.
Yeah.
The fact that, okay, here's the thing. You can write an amazing story, and, for example, The Mist or Saw, for me, have the greatest endings of all time, in my opinion.
They're very good endings.
The first time you see them.
Yeah.
The fact that the endings make the movie.
Yeah.
But now you have to make the movie better than the ending. Because you showed the ending first.
But
That's
is better
a very hard thing to do.
But it is better than the ending
It
somehow,
is.
right? It's just,
Here's the new question is, can you show the ending of a bunch of movies, then show the rest of the movie? Will it actually, like, work? And it won't.
See, it does, again, I'm really tiptoeing spoilers. It does a very good job of changing perceptions of things as it goes on. That's kind of like, you see the opening scene and you think particular things, and then as the movie goes on, like, just perceptions change, right? There's another movie that came out actually, and unfortunately I didn't look it up. I want to say it was after Memento. I'm pretty sure it was, in fact.
Okay.
Called Irreversible, a French movie starring Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci. And it does something similar, where it opens up with two guys going to a club and beating somebody to death. That's like the opening scene. And then the rest of the movie is backwards, the exact same, where it's like every scene is in reverse order. And then you find out about halfway through that this dude raped one of their friends. Oh. And that's why they beat him to death, right? And then it's like, and then as it keeps going, it's like right off the bat, you think these two guys are really, really bad people. They show up and they fucking beat this guy to death. It's really gruesome and brutal. And then as the movie progresses, it's like, oh, they're actually pretty good people. And that's the thing. And like, and then you see the scene where like it happens. And then before that, they're very normal. Like, they would never do that. So it's like interesting. It's like, oh, your perspectives are like changing as you go. So I think, Irreversible doesn't quite stick the landing as good as Memento does. With Irreversible, it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's, you know what I mean? Like, there's really no ending to it. Whereas Memento has a twist ending somehow, even though it's a fucking movie that's going backwards.
Because you were right, though, because whenever you see, oh, this is how the scene happened, and then you have feelings about it, and then it's like, oh, no, but wait, we have to go back one more. Why did that? And then you're right. Your whole feelings change. That's why Memento is so amazing. Mm-hmm. While Se7en has a completely different feeling. By the first, 30 minutes, you already know what's up.
Exactly.
And yet the ending is still... Iconic.
It's like, what
So you have these two very, very interesting where you know the ending because it showed you first, and then it's just explaining how you got there.
Yeah.
And then there's a movie that's like, you know what the ending is, but we're going to bring you there anyways. Like, how fucking interesting these two movies paired up. These were an amazing two to pair up.
Oh, thank you.
These were great. And I love David Fincher, who directed Fight Club.
So, yeah. So, actually...
He directed Se7en.
Yeah. So, one thing, and I didn't even mean to do this. Both of these movies are the second movie in two different filmmakers, like, iconic directorial filmographies. So David Fincher did Alien 3 first,
which was fucking shit.
I actually don't mind Alien 3.
It was a box office failure.
Oh, it's a failure. Yeah. A lot of people think
I haven't seen it, but
a lot of people think it's the worst Alien movie. A lot of people think it's the worst sequel ever created. But like, I actually kind of like it just because it's really small. Alien 3 is a lot like Alien, whereas Aliens, the second one, is like massive. It's like an action movie. It's not a horror movie at all. So like, I like the fact that they kind of went back to their horror roots. But anyway, so he followed up Alien 3, which was a disaster, with Se7en, and that made him like, ooh, who the fuck is this guy? And then he goes on and makes The Game, and then he makes Fight Club like 4 years later. I know. And then like intense. Now he's just making everything he makes is like perfect to me. And then the other filmmaker is Christopher Nolan,
who we have to give him Batman. Man, his Batman is like,
it's so good.
It's the greatest three trilogy superhero movies in my opinion.
I agree 100%. And that's the thing. So this was his second movie. He did Following before this, which was a fun movie that nobody's ever seen. It's like super low budget. He made it for like $10,000, but it's a really good movie.
I'm thinking of It Follows.
No. This is a completely different movie. It's like a writer who he has writer's block, so he starts following people because he finds it interesting and like just to get inspiration. And he ends up following this guy, and the guy catches him, and he's like, "Why are you following me?" And he's like, no reason, kind of thing. And then he's like, no, seriously, why the fuck are you following me, kind of thing. And he explains, like, listen, I'm a writer. I'm just, like, kind of. And he's like, oh, if you want to keep following me, like, let's go. So, and it turns out that this guy's a burglar. And they, like, break into houses.
Holy shit.
But he doesn't steal anything. He breaks in and he rearranges stuff.
It's the Dane Cook joke.
Yeah.
The B&E.
Legit though.
I didn't even want to do B&E. I just wanted to kick the door in.
Legit though.
Yeah.
It's like, did he steal the batteries? Motherfucker stole the batteries. Chasing off for stupid batteries.
Yeah, I love that joke.
But that's it. Like, and his whole thing is, he doesn't want to steal anything. He doesn't want to do it for monetary gain. He wants to do it to affect people's lives.
Why though?
I don't know. It's just a way of like touching people in a weird way. Like, even though it's kind of negative to me, but like,
Because they won't forget. They'll be thinking about him for how long?
exactly. And so this writer finds this guy fascinating. So he starts following him more and more and more. And that's kind of what the movie's about. It's like an hour long. It's a super easy watch.
Is it good?
I love it. I think it's great.
Okay.
I own it. I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's made for like 10 grand. He made it over weekends with his friends.
Okay.
And the coolest thing about it actually is the main guy, the burglar character, his name's Cobb, who, when he makes Inception, he would name that guy Cobb as well. So I think it's kind of a funny. It's like, is it the same character? It's kind of a cool little bit. But yeah. So that's the thing. So Nolan would do Following, which is super low budget, and then do Memento, and then like his career fucking skyrockets. He does Insomnia, the Batman movies. He does like The Prestige, which is amazing. Right. Like Inception. He does so many fucking big movies.
Very big for its time.
Oh my god, it's and even to this day, like it's fucking spectacular.
Like, I've seen that movie at least 5 times, and I still have to watch every sentence because I'm picking up stuff that I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
because the movie is way too intense.
It's super good. And it's funny because there's so much information that's delivered to you in that movie.
That's the problem.
And that's the first half of the movie. Is
right.
Like, it's just information dump for like fucking an hour and a half. And then the last hour and a half is spectacular.
Right.
But the first hour and a half is pretty good too. But like,
that is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. That's a good movie. I love Inception.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, so the fact that these guys, it's like their second movies, they're both trying to prove something, because one guy made like a low-budget movie, the other guy made Alien 3. So like they're both trying to prove something, and they both fucking knock it out of the park.
Well, which is really cool, because even though he failed Alien 3, he got the budget, $33 million for 7.
It's a fucking good movie, though.
Which is pretty good. But Memento only got a 4.5.
And you can tell.
Budget.
You can see it. Like, it's, you know what I mean?
He doesn't even do anything. Well, 7, you have to do all the characters, and you have to do all
It's
that,
beautiful.
Right?
And I love the fact that it's raining all the time, and there's so many
Yeah,
good
I never did Google that. Was that meant to be like that?
Yeah.
It had to.
Oh, it must have been. Yeah, it must have been.
I don't think there was one day of sunshine.
No, the whole week it's raining. It's pouring rain.
That's so weird.
And I wonder if it's a reference to something.
Oh, except for the ending. The ending wasn't raining.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. That's a great point, actually. What does it all mean, Ashley? What does it all mean?
Google. What does it mean?
But yeah, no, both of these movies are fantastic. Yeah, if you haven't watched them, fucking watch them.
Yeah.
Let's rank these bad boys.
I think we have to, because...
Yeah, because once we start talking, we're going to be hitting spoiler territory.
That's it, man.
Quick.
I'm going to start everything. So, for production, remember 33 mil to 4.5.
Oh, I think 7.
I think give it 7.
Yeah.
I think 7 is more of a an actual film to me, while Memento is kind of like...
It's very experimental. It's very artsy.
Yeah, it's very like... It's not professional like 7 is, where I feel like they have like 30 camera crew, and I think Memento has like some creepy guy and a
it's like
wife beater with the fucking thing running around, you know.
The cameraman is paid with like a pack of smokes and a
literally.
Yeah.
Here's some Colt 45 and here's some Marlboros.
But here's the thing, actually, like even though it was such a low budget movie, watching it this time, the one thing that stands out, Guy Pearce is so good in Memento.
Dude, he reminds me so much of Brad Pitt. And then I found out that Brad Pitt was originally supposed to be his character.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
You could tell a lot of his inspiration, the way he smiles, the way he says things, is kind of like a Brad Pitt-ish to me.
7 was first, right? 7 was like 95, right?
7 was 95.
And
yeah,
then...
Memento was 2000.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So you could... It's almost like he's doing Brad Pitt from 7 a little bit. Like his hair...
Exactly,
like,
but Guy was just cheaper. That's the only reason why they went. Yeah. Well, their budget was 4.5.
Yeah.
After 7, Brad Pitt was obviously something. I wonder how much his budget would have been. It would have been half the budget just to have Brad Pitt.
Oh, but it was before Brad Pitt was anything. huge. Like
Seven was 327 million they made. That's a pretty big name.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt wasn't massive then. He did like Thelma and Louise. He did Legend of the Fall. He did True Romance.
Oh, he didn't do Fight Club yet.
No,
that's fair.
He didn't do Fight Club. He didn't do the Ocean's movies yet.
Fight Club was in 99. When was Ocean?
2001.
I think it was 2002. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, okay, yeah, production. I think. But here's the thing. I mean, right off the bat, we have to cross them off because, like, I think production goes to Seven, but I think originality goes to Memento.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So here's the thing. Like, I think against a lot of other movies on this list, Seven would take originality. It's very original to me. However, Memento is one of those movies where it's like, it's too clever. Like I said, like
that was something else, man.
That's it. I love explaining it to people. Like that's, you know what I mean? So
it's something else. And whenever you hear like it's backwards, people are like trying to compute it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's good. Like I'll give you that. Originality.
So I think they cross each other out.
They cross each other out. So production is for Seven, Memento, originality, they cross each other out.
So writing.
Both of us silence. That's hard.
I think Seven takes writing. But this one's hard.
See, not everyone can write a movie backwards.
It's so original.
And make it captivating every scene. I love Seven.
You know what? Maybe
I'm gonna give it Memento. I love Seven.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm down. I'll give it to Memento. That's cool.
Dude,
I was on the
that's
fence,
hard.
so.
Even I can write a movie about serial killer doing deadly. I can't write a movie backwards and make it captivating.
Yeah.
So, or we can just hold it up in the air if we have to.
No, it's cool. I'll give it to Memento.
Acting, I give...
I literally just said that Guy Pearce was so good at this movie, but I will give it to Seven, I think.
It's the last, 20 minutes why I give it to Seven.
Yeah.
So, I'll give it to Seven for that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. And... rewatchability for me is Seven.
Oh, this one's tough.
I think Memento is too easy for me.
I think Memento's a really easy movie to watch for me. And
that's what I think is too easy for me. I think it's almost...
You think Seven?
I think after the fourth time in a row, I'd just be bored. Well, Seven, I'm listening for other hints and tricks.
I think you're right. I'll give it to Seven.
So
Seven wins.
Right? Writing was to
writing and
Memento, but acting and rewatchability was for Seven.
Yeah.
So 7 won by a little hair, man.
Yeah.
Either one of these deserves to go through.
Agreed. Memento is a fucking excellent movie. It's so good. It's so clever. But Seven it's something really special, and it's like you could tell it's a guy who wants to prove himself after like a quote unquote shitty first film. I don't even think like I said I like Alien 3, but a lot of people gave him shit for it. So it's like he comes out fucking swinging, and it works so well for me.
It's so true.
And I've always said this. I don't know why, but I feel like when I watch movies after a particular time, it's very possible that it has to do with the switch over from film to digital. Movies don't look very dark or bright anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. They're a weird gray. They're
okay.
You know what I mean? Even the colors aren't super vibrant anymore unless they're really supposed to be but there's something about Seven and
so gray. I was gonna say.
Oh, see, and Fight Club does it really well too, where the black in this movie are fucking black. You can't see shit, and then the lights are super fucking bright, and it's do you know what I mean? It just looks so good. The contrast in this movie is so good. Again, Fight Club does it well as well. But
before we go off topic, I just Googled it. The filmmakers decided it should always be raining for 2 reasons. It added a sense of dread, and they never had to worry about bad weather. It's kind of a little smart turnaround.
Oh, I get it, actually. So here's the thing. If you say, the movie's going to be sunny all the time, and then it rains
then
one day.
What are you going to do? And you have Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman on the payroll for an extra 30 days.
Fuck it. It's going to be pouring all day. So
Literally.
if it pours, it fucking pours.
Literally, like, screw it. Yeah, that was a smart little turnaround. But you would think, like, so they made it rain? It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that cost more, you think, to make it rain?
Oh, probably, I guess, than postponing it for a day or two, but like...
Or you can just tell the actors, don't fuck up the scene. If it's fucking raining, man, you fucking do your shit.
But that's the thing, right? The movie takes place over the course of a week.
Right.
So, like, fucking Tuesday could be raining and Wednesday could be sunny. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's very realistic still. I don't know, whatever.
No idea. Anyway, other filmmakers have been doing this. And that's how they did it. They just want to be more difficult to make it rain every day. The dread part, I agree with that. It was very gray. You said darks. Mm-hmm. It was more...
It actually reminds me of another David Fincher movie, and it's a kind of a... I'll dance around a spoiler in that movie, too. It's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. There's a scene, and it's like... It's the same scene, but it's from two different perspectives.
Okay.
Okay, and in one scene, it's from somebody who, like, cherishes that day as, like... I don't know, I'm trying to relate to dance around something, but he anyway, it's super sunny and bright, and it's like a beautiful summer day. And then it's the same scene from the perspective of somebody else who, like... It
was like this worst day of their life kind of thing.
And it's fucking pouring rain outside. But it's funny, I listened to the commentary for the movie, and that was a complete fucking mistake. Like...
shit.
They filmed the first one, the sunny day first, and then they had all the actors for the second day, and it wouldn't stop pouring rain. So they're like, fuck it, let's just have it pouring rain, whatever. And then it wasn't until you watch the movie that it works. And it's like, oh, we totally didn't mean to.
Luck of just having 15 men around a table smoking cigarettes, drinking a bottle, trying to figure out how to tie this scene in the movie. It's like, come on, guys, give me fucking any reason, man. Any reason.
And it works very well, like, in that movie. It's like, that it's... For her, like, for that character, it's fucking pouring rain. And it's like, oh, it's so sad. Like, because in his eyes, it's like, it was a beautiful day. And, like, anyway. But, like, so that's...
How funny.
So it's very funny that he didn't follow his own advice and just make it raining all the time. Although in that movie, it's always fucking snowing. So it's probably, maybe he did follow his own advice.
He probably learned his lesson.
Yeah. But anyway. All right. Spoilers next. Spoilers!
Spoilers.
What's spoilers backwards?
Jesus. I gotta type it. Hold on. Sreliel. Hold on, I'm trying to say it. Sreliops. 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 My brain was like, nope, doesn't make sense. All
right, which movie had better ending?
Oh, definitely
Seven, right?
Come
What's
on.
in the box? Okay.
I remember the line because I've seen the movie, and then it was portrayed on How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Robin said it. But man, when you're watching this movie after a while and you see him like, what's in the box? Just tell me. Yeah. And you're like, you feel so bad.
And nobody wants to say it. Yeah.
It's the guy is like, don't let him near this box. Don't let him over here. Don't let him over. I can't believe he fucking opened the box.
Yeah. So how do you, in your opinion, how do you perceive the ending? So like, okay, so the last two bodies are Wrath and Envy, right?
I have them all if you want me to go through them.
Okay, go ahead.
I got them all. So, the number one, which is the fat man.
Gluttony, yeah.
Force-fed by John Doe until his stomach exploded.
Yeah,
Gluttony.
Which is fucked up.
Number two is Eli Gold. He bled to death when John forced him to cut off a pound of his own flesh.
Which is a Merchant of Venice reference.
Greed.
Yeah.
I don't know. What?
It's a Shakespearean play. It's about this man who loans this guy money, and he says, "But if you can't pay me back, you owe me a pound of flesh."
Jesus.
So, and it gets to the point where he can't pay him back. So he's like, "I'm fucking here to take that pound of flesh," and I'm going to ruin the ending of the book, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, he goes to get his pound of flesh either way. He doesn't. He doesn't get it though. Don't worry.
Ew.
There's like a trial, and the last bit of the book is the trial, and he's like, no, this motherfucker owes me a pound of flesh, and I want it. So
Pound of flesh doesn't seem like that much though.
okay, a pound is it's not that much, but you have to cut it off yourself. Like,
Oh no, that sucks. But I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, I can give myself a good tummy tuck. Shit, you want me to give you 5? Can I give you 40 pounds? I'll give you 40.
yeah,
Just get off my foot. Have you seen Saw? That's how I'm thinking of all this.
yeah. I see the one girl in Saw, because there's a trap in Saw, one of the Saw movies that's like
That's
this.
what I'm saying. Because it was the 2 people, and they said whoever can give me more flesh.
Yeah. And
Well,
she cuts off her.
she cuts off her
her
arm.
arm, which is like the smart way to go, I guess.
Well,
but,
it's bone.
yeah, it's heavy.
And the guy he's overweight, so he was just cutting at his stomach the whole time trying to get his fat out.
Yeah. I'd go with the thigh, I think.
Well, that was also her thing, though. Hold on, let's go back for a second.
Yeah.
We're not going to say what Saw, because, I mean,
Yeah.
1, I don't even know what number.
It's like the
2, we're
opening
not
scene,
spoiling
though.
it. But it's because she's so skinny.
Yeah.
So it's what you just said, like, I'd give your thigh. Shit, take my ass, that's 15 pounds. The problem is, though, she was, like, trying to, like, grab at her skin, and she had no fat.
Yeah.
She's like, what do I do? Fuck it. This guy's cutting off his stomach, which is 40 pounds. I'm going to cut off my fucking arm.
Yeah. So in the Merchant of Venice, the trial happens, and they say, like, all right, yeah, you are owed the pound of flesh, like, fucking take it, kind of thing. But the judge, I think it's like his lover, is like, all right, that's fine, you can take a pound of flesh, because that's what it's owed, a pound of flesh. But if you take even a fucking minuscule amount on any side of that, it has to be exactly 1 pound, or you're charged with fucking attempted murder or whatever. So he decides not to do it, because it's like,
How do you do that?
you guys, I don't know, especially back in the fucking 1800s,
Literally.
like 1700s, or the fuck
I don't
it was,
even
like
know if a surgeon can, like, look at a body and do precision cutting to do a pound.
yeah. I don't even think a fucking drug dealer can measure out a pound that accurately.
That is so true.
Anyway, so that's the second one.
Okay. And I believe because he was Greed, he was the lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't say the lawyer, but
Yeah.
number 3 is Theodore. He was handcuffed to his bed for a year by John, slowly starving him to death, eventually died of a heart attack as the sloth.
So it's very funny. Oh, does he die of a heart attack? I don't think he does die.
In the hospital.
He does die.
So that, by the way, that was a real actor.
Yeah.
And he only weighs 98 pounds. I think his face was like...
Yeah. That was obviously, yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, that's what the actor actually looked like? Like, and they were like,
Yeah.
can you lose a little more weight? The guy was like, no.
I don't think so, dude. So, because I know they say, they're like, oh, what they say like something, and he's like, the doctor's like, even if his brain wasn't mush,
Right.
he chewed his tongue off a long time ago. So it's like, I assume they don't talk about him after that, do they? Maybe he does die of a heart attack. Maybe he does. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
I think he did.
Okay, doesn't
But I
matter.
don't remember.
Anyway, okay, it's actually very funny. I actually started out this episode with how Se7en wasn't really a horror movie. One of the best jump scares in cinema history is when that dude leans in and he's like, "You got what you deserved," and then the fucking body starts coughing.
I was not expecting
Yeah.
that at all. So why did he deserve it? I never got that.
He's a drug dealer. Well, I think he's a drug addict for sure. I thought he was a drug dealer, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I never got that part.
Well, I mean, why does the overweight guy deserve it?
'Cause he was fat.
But that's not like, I'm a fat person.
I
like,
guess to him, you be dead, okay?
Yeah.
Number 4 is the prostitute. She either bled to death externally or died of internal bleeding.
Yeah, because she was like carved
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go
Yeah,
into detail
okay.
with that one because that one was very, very intense.
But they don't show it. They don't
I know,
they
but I
just
saw the
explain it.
contraption. That was enough for me.
Yeah.
And that was lust. Because she's a prostitute, I guess.
And then the 5th one, which is kind of where the movie... Okay, it's very unfortunate that this movie needed to have 7. Like, just based...
Because now you're thinking they just kind of filled it in.
Yeah, I find Pride, that's the last one, right? That's the next one?
Yeah.
I find that's the one where it's like, okay, this... Like, in any other movie, if this was just like random killings, this scene would be cut out. It's great. I love the idea of they cut her face up.
Yeah.
And then they gave her the choice of calling for 911 or a bottle of pills. And shows a bottle of pills. But, like, it's the one where it's like, oh, this is going on too long. But that's just me.
See, so whenever I hear of this, I think of the Chuck Palahniuk book.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Which is
Invisible Monsters.
Invisible Monsters.
Yeah.
Because, for any of you that don't know, she is a girl who is extraordinarily beautiful, gets everything done for free, whatever. And she was driving, and I think it's like a bullet hits her jaw, and it cleans off her jaw, and now she's mutilated. And she meets Brandy Alexander. And Brandy's kind of like, you're still beautiful. Let me pick you up. Let me, like, carry you through life. You're fine. Just be my... Because Brandy was, like, famous. I think she was up and coming.
Yeah.
So she's like, just be my fucking side chick, you know, follow me everywhere. Be my fucking bitch. And I'll take you with me.
And if I recall, like, she legit just doesn't have a jaw. They don't fix that shit.
No. So the whole bottom of her face is gone.
Yeah, like, it's not like they gave her a fake jaw in the hospital. It's just
gone.
she always just after that has.
So she always has a veil on. That was in the book and some of the parts of the book, and just to kind of hide it, they were always in veils and stuff. And how I think of that scene is, would this princess who now is ugly carried on her life? No. I bet you she would have, offed herself, except she had someone like Brandy Alexander who was like, forget your fucking past. Who the shit cares?
Yeah.
I have money. This is my fucking guy, and we go do some crazy shit.
It's a good fucking book.
Be with us.
It's a really good book.
I'll repeat it again. It's Chuck Palahniuk, Invisible Monsters. Chuck Palahniuk is the writer of Fight Club, which is kind of funny. It kind of intertwined in Dave Fincher, but
yeah. So it's actually it's very funny. I remember reading up about it, Invisible Monsters. What made me actually really want to read it? Well, I read Fight Club, and apparently he wrote Invisible Monsters first, and nobody wanted to publish it. So they said it was too fucked up. So he was like, "Oh, you think that's fucked up?" So I
love that.
Yeah, so he wrote Fight Club, and then they're like, "Okay, we get it, all right." So then, and after Fight Club blew up, it was like one of the biggest fucking books for a while there. They're like, "All right, what else you got?" So then he threw Invisible Monsters out there as like his first book. But even though it came out
that is one of my favorite stories because because Steven and I actually saw him live, and he even like you could tell the way he portrays himself. He's like, you don't even know what the fuck is in my brain. Because then he did Haunted soon after. I think that was his most. It's like 12 people who are professionals in their own field, but they all have to kill each other in order to be the last one standing. Man, that book is so fucking weird.
Yeah. And he did Choke, which is a great book as well. That was.
I'm not going to say anything about Choke because it's one of those. Read it.
Yeah,
read it because once we say
don't see the movie. The movie's not very good.
Don't see the movie.
The movie's not good
because once we explain what the book is about, it kind of loses its purpose.
Agreed.
That is I think that's one of his best sellers.
It is. That was
obviously Fight Club, and then I think Choke is his second.
I agree.
The fucking movie is terrible.
But either way.
But anyway, so yes, that was Rachel. So she overdosed on pills because he slaughtered her face.
Yeah.
I don't understand number 6.
Okay, so which one's number 6?
Which is Tracy Mills, his wife.
Okay.
Because he decapitated her off screen as envy. But why would he envy her?
Okay, see, this can go either way. Okay, and that's why I kind of asked the question. Okay. I don't know if he is envy or she's envy.
Well, he would be Wrath.
See, I think...
No, John Doe is Wrath.
Okay, see, he says to Mills, like to Brad Pitt's character, he's like, I killed her because I envy the life you have. Right. He's like, envy is my sin. I need you to be Wrath. And that's what he says to him. But I took it as Tracy is envious because throughout the whole movie, all she's talking about is how much she hates New York City. And how, like, she doesn't want to be there. But she's there because of her husband. So I always thought she envied. But how would John Doe know that? I don't know. And then, like...
Wrath makes sense for him because he got so angry.
That he killed him.
In
my personal opinion, it would make sense for John Doe as well. Because he's so angry at the entire world.
Yeah, but that he kills some random chick.
He kills 6 people.
She has nothing to do with anything.
But she's envious.
That's what we're talking about. Envy of what, right?
Well, she's envious because she hates New York City and she doesn't want to live there anymore.
So
She's
you're
envious.
right. So how would he know that? That's a good example.
That's the thing. So it's kind of like in the movie portrayed as he's envy and she's the victim for wrath, because like Brad Pitt's so angry that it like technically killed her because.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, the number 7 is obviously John Doe because David shot him in the head.
Yeah.
Which, okay, we got to talk about this for a second because I know it was toyed around in the writing room that Buddy was supposed to shoot him in the head.
Who?
Instead.
Morgan Freeman?
Yes. So, Somerset.
Which would make sense only because Morgan Freeman was retiring. So he's like, I'm done with all this.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
I'm going to take the bullet for this one. If I have to go to jail, I'll go to jail. But you're a young guy.
Because, like, he punched Buddy in the face. So he was fucking angry.
Yeah. Apparently, this wasn't even the original ending for the movie. So the guy who wrote the movie, his name's Andrew Kevin Walker, I believe. He wrote this ending. That's fantastic. But the studio thought it was too much. They're like, this is too...
After everything.
Right? They're like, this is too fucked up. So they made him write a different ending.
What about the prostitute scene? That was fine.
But like, they don't
decapitating
show...
Gwyneth Paltrow?
They don't show the prostitute
They didn't
scene.
show Gwyneth Paltrow.
They don't show a lot. You notice that? They don't show any of the murders.
They don't show anything. And then everyone keeps saying, oh, I saw her in the box. And the writer
No,
was
you
like,
don't.
dude, she wasn't in the box. What's wrong with all of you?
Yeah. Okay, so... But... when the movie was sent to David Fincher, no, I think it was sent to Brad Pitt. It had the original ending. It was just somebody fucked up, and Brad Pitt signed on.
That
and
person
then,
got fired.
right? But then he read the script. He's like, "Well, what the fuck is this? Like, that's not the ending. The ending was the other one with the head in the box." They're like, "Oh yeah, no, we changed that ending." And Brad Pitt's like, "I'm not doing this movie without that ending."
Oh.
So they're like, "Oh, okay then." It was yeah.
I guess we're doing that ending.
I guess we're doing that fucking ending then.
But he's getting fired, and we got Brad Pitt. Okay?
Yeah. So, and I think David Fincher was like, fuck yeah, like let's do that ending. But I think I feel like David Fincher was like, I'll do it either way. But Brad Pitt was the one who made him change it.
Well, so
The ending is what makes the movie. So
when I heard that Somerset was supposed to shoot him, I actually feel like that was the proper way. And then it was Brad who said, no, if that was my wife, I would have shot him. But here's the thing. So let's go through this whole scene. So obviously something is fucking wrong. Brad already fucking knows because Buddy is like, don't fucking come near this fucking box.
Yeah.
He has time to run from that van all the way to Brad. Then there's an argument, and then Buddy tells him, oh, she was pregnant, she begged for my life, and blah, 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 blah. And there's this whole scene of like 3 minutes where Brad doesn't do anything. Once I see Somerset running to me, and I go, what's in the box? A doesn't answer, and that guy says, it's Dylan's head. Boom! I would have already did it.
yeah,
There wouldn't have been this 3 minutes of decision-making, because then it's insanity.
I don't think I would have killed him with a gun. I might have done it with my bare hands or something. But like, no, I probably would have killed him too.
Like this whole like, no, I don't want to be whatever. Oh no, she was no.
But
like
that's the
once
thing,
I hear
though.
it's Dill's head, that's it. You're right, bare knuckle. I would have killed this poor man because there is no thought. The fact that the thought of his job came first kind of grosses me out.
No, that's not what it is. Okay. It's funny you look at it like that because I look at it like the only reason you would kill him is to get revenge. But the problem is that's what he wants you to do.
Right.
So, like, by leaving him alive, he loses.
Which is what Somerset is saying.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
And
dude, if
that's-
he goes to prison, he's done. He's not coming back out.
Yeah,
and then he loses.
And he didn't fucking complete his goal. And like by killing him, that's exactly what he wants. But that's the thing. I think John Doe, because he met him on the stairs, right? And he knows he's fucking super like aggressive.
Yeah.
When he saw him with the camera. So he knows, like, oh, I'll push this button, and then I'll push this button, and then I'll push this button, and this guy will fucking kill me. It's just the way it is. Like, because he's doing it so meticulously. Like, I love it when Morgan Freeman's running towards him, he's like, oh, here he comes. Like, he's just like, no. He says, there he goes, because he's running towards the box. And he's like, we have a chance to talk now. Like, everything's so meticulously planned. Like,
in that camera scene, by the way, he kind of brushed over it super quickly, but now that whole scene kind of makes sense because he's like, how do they get here so quick? And he's like, oh, we pay reporters, reporters pay the cops so they can be here. And then it turns out, actually, no, it's because he knew.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he did it.
Yeah.
Right? That's nuts. And by the way, his acting was so amazing. I, honest to God, didn't even know that was Kevin Spacey until probably the last 10 minutes.
It's crazy, right?
He kind of switched out of his character in the last little bit. You can kind of tell who I thought he was for the longest time, except too bad of the year difference, is all the personalities.
Oh, James McAvoy.
Man.
He's fucking excellent.
Both of them were like right by each other.
Agreed.
Well, either way, we've been talking a lot about Seven.
Let's talk about Memento.
Man, I love Seven. Sorry.
Oh, me too. I can talk all day.
But it's carrying on, so we can talk about another time.
Memento. I love the ending of Memento. I think it's super interesting because, like Irreversible, right off the bat, Guy Pearce kills Teddy.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, Guy Pearce, good guy. Teddy, bad guy. And then you go through, and it's like, oh my God. Teddy raped his wife. Teddy, really bad guy. You know what I mean? And then makes Guy Pearce really good guy. And then at the very end of the movie, you find out that Teddy's actually just like a good guy who's helping him. He's like a good cop who is kind of a shitty cop because he's like fucking killing drug dealers and shit. But like,
he brought him to the warehouse.
Exactly. But he's like, I love that scene where he's like, when I catch him, I will know. And he's like, I thought that too. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, we fucking got the guy. He's dead. We got him already. But like, you didn't fucking remember. It didn't stick. Like, nothing sticks. So I gotta keep fucking giving you John G's to kill. I gotta keep bringing them to you. Or you'll fucking end up in a home. And like,
so
that's not what I want. He was just a cop who believed him. Nobody believed that there was another guy in the room except for him. So he's like, I will help you. So he's just a good guy so the fact, it kind of makes Guy Pearce the villain of the movie in a weird way. But
now he has nobody, so now what does he do? He's just gonna...
That's what's the craziest thing about the ending is like, what happens now? He forgets about it in like 10 minutes.
And then is he still out looking for this man?
I guess.
But what about the license plate? The license plate matched.
Because he wrote it down. He was sitting in the truck and he's like, so you're saying he's like, I'm a hired killer now without realizing it. He's like, so you're saying, all I need is a John G. He's like, well, you're a John G. And then because he was staring at his license plate. So he wrote down that license plate. And then he immediately got it tattooed on his leg. So he's like, John G's license plate is this.
Yeah, because in the argument, he responded with, well, I'm a John G. That's how easy it is.
It's like, I'm a fucking John G. Like,
right. And then he was like, oh, you're a John G. Oh, shit, okay. Yeah, because then he was driving away with the car, and then he slammed on his brakes because he went to that ghetto tattoo parlor.
Yeah.
And Buddy was like, I saw your convertible outside.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
leave. Right, that was the scene. Huh.
So, like, who's the villain of the movie? It's so, like, even the fucking drug dealer they kill at the end / beginning, he seems like a decent guy. He's just, you know what I mean? He's like, he shows up and he's like, hey, memory man, what's up? Like, how you been? Kind of thing. And then he starts, like, clubbing him in the head. And then he's like, whoa, like, who fucking told you I raped your wife? And then he shoots him in the face. No, he doesn't shoot him in the face. He just drags him downstairs. After he clubs him again.
But he's dead.
And then he died. Yeah, he dies, but...
Yeah, because he even says, like, I got $200,000 in the car.
He's like, just take it.
Take it and go. Which kind of makes sense how he's paying for his hotel.
Yeah.
Because the one, I think it was Teddy, who's like, how are you getting all these clothes in this car? And he's like, I have money.
He's like, yeah.
But now I'm wondering if he forgot the money was in the back.
Probably.
So now he's driving around 200 grand.
But at the same time, Teddy would know, because Teddy was the one who asked him for the money. And that's why, because Teddy knew he was going to get killed. So he's like, yeah, you bring 200 grand and I'll give you drugs, knowing that this guy was going to walk in and get killed.
So another thing about that scene, I think it was the scene with the drug dealer. He gets out of his car and goes in his trunk and gets like a tire iron.
Yeah.
How do you know it was in there?
I don't know.
He like went for it, like he remembered, he put it in there.
Yeah. That's a great question. There's a scene early on in the movie where they talk about how they had Sammy pick up the same three objects, or same objects, and three of them were electrified. And if you do it enough times, your body will instinctively know not to pick those up. Maybe it's just one of those. He just instinctively knew that there was a tire iron. You know what I mean?
But Sammy failed.
Yeah, because he was faking, in quotations. Because he was a faker. It turns out that Sammy was actually a con man.
Why would he kill his wife?
He didn't. It was Guy Pearce who killed his wife. Guy Pearce's wife survived the thing, but she couldn't stand the fact that he had memory issues. So she did the test to him.
I remember that.
But he that's the problem with Guy Pearce's character is he can't fucking take all the bad stuff he's done. So he purposely clouds it with you know what I mean? That was Sammy Jenkins who did that, wasn't me. Teddy's a bad guy. That's why I'm gonna kill him. You know what I mean?
I get it. Every car has a tire iron in their trunk. I get that.
Oh, that's a good point too. Actually, I didn't even think
about that. But you have to First off, your trunk has to be empty.
Yeah.
Fuck off. No one's trunk except for mine is empty because I don't have a life.
My trunk's
then you
pretty
gotta
empty.
pick it all. Your trunk is empty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Well, okay, that's weird. So then you have to pick up the floor, and then you gotta unscrew. No, fuck off. He popped that trunk, went to the back, grabbed it, and fucking left.
Maybe he didn't know it was back there. Maybe he knew something was back there though.
Bullshit.
He opened it. And he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's probably true. There's a lot of scenes in this movie that are really fucking good. There are a lot of scenes in this movie that really make you feel like you have short-term memory. There's the one scene where he's just kind of running and he's just like, "Oh, what am I doing?"
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm chasing this guy.
He's like, "No, wait, he's chasing me." And then and then you cut to and then there's the other one, which I don't know, one of my favorite scenes is it opens with him looking for a pen. He's like, "I need a pen. I need a fucking pen. I need a fucking pen."
Chick's house.
Yeah, and then she stole all the pens in the previous thing because she knew he would try to write it down. I think that was because you're like, wait, what the fuck does he need a pen for? And then she comes in and she's like, "I got beat up," and he's like, "Holy shit, who beat you up?" And it was 5 seconds before that. And then the other one is he wakes up on the toilet and he's got a wine bottle in his hand. He's like,
I don't feel drunk.
I don't feel drunk. Yeah. But it makes, because it's you don't know what happened before that. So it's so
that's the hardest thing,
yeah,
right?
You're just oh, it's you feel like you have short-term memory. You are figuring it out with him. I think it's very clever.
That's so true. I didn't even think of it like that. I do like that. And I know there's a DVD that was released in 2002 where you can actually watch it in chronological order.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
I did. It's okay. It doesn't work as well because it opens up with all of the black and white stuff. And I like all the black and white stuff peppered between each one.
So the whole thing with Sammy and everything is all in the middle? Is all in the beginning?
Yeah. Oh. And that's why it doesn't work very well. So it works really well when every scene has a black and white scene in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but chronological order, I thought they were literally just going to reverse it.
But technically...
Exactly how... But fill in the black spaces properly.
Oh, yeah, no. See, because it's all chronological order. Technically, chronologically, it'd be all the black and white stuff first.
Who's he on the phone with?
Teddy.
Right, so...
And then he walks out, and then Teddy... And then it becomes color. And then
Teddy...
Oh,
and he's like, "I'm meeting this guy," and he's like, "Your buddy is right there."
Yeah.
That's first...
No, that's at the very end. That's at the very end.
Okay.
But, so he walks out, and then Teddy and him go to meet Jimmy Grant, the drug dealer.
Oh, Lord.
So it's so that's where... So, I mean, it kind of works, but it's not really as good.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
That would have been really... Apparently, they had a little memory game in the beginning of it. That's what you had to pass to...
Yeah.
To see it. I don't remember. I didn't even know that was a thing. How cute. But yeah, I did like Guy Pearce. Do we know if he was anything before?
I don't know.
I know he was kind of unknown, but I don't know about...
I'm trying to think of things that were before Memento that I could think of it. Like, he was probably in, like... He's Australian, so he's probably in Australian movies. I can think of a couple of things after. Like, he was in The Proposition, which was fucking awesome. He was in, like, Animal Kingdom, which was a very good movie. So he's in a bunch of shit. It's just...
Okay.
I'm actually very surprised that Nolan never worked with him again. That's one that surprises me. Because he's good. He's a good actor.
Do you think it was him or...
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, like, Nolan didn't like him or anything like that. But I'm just surprised. Like, he would have been a really good fucking Bond or Batman villain, actually. Like...
That's fair.
You could have had him play the Riddler or something. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want the Riddler, but
because like the movie didn't make that much. It only made $40 million.
That's still pretty good though for you said $2 million.
4.5.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't terrible. I'm just saying compared to the normal movies.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm like, he probably was kind of like pushed under a bit underneath by all the other actors.
Yeah.
Because any of them, Natalie is someone.
Yeah,
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah, so she...
I know I've seen her before.
Surprisingly, I don't know if they filmed this before it, but she's in The Matrix. And that's like what... Like, she's in other movies, but like, if you ask me, fucking The Matrix is what made her fucking famous. Like, so... And The Matrix is 99.
It was a year before.
Yeah, so that's interesting that she was in... I always thought she was in this.
You knew that on the top of your head.
I,
what? I had to Wikipedia it, and he found it.
Yeah. So I'm very surprised that she was in that before this. But it's also very possible that she was like, that movie is so big that she's like, I'd rather just be in something small. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people do that, so... Because Matrix was massive.
Yeah, it was released in 1999?
Yeah.
So I wonder... No, because this movie only took 25 days to make.
I can't see... Matrix probably took forever to make.
Because I'm wondering if they enter...
Maybe.
25 days? That's not that long. She only filmed for like 18 of them. Not even, probably.
I'm surprised it was even that much.
I don't even think it was. I think it was 8.
Yeah, I could see... Actually, that's very funny. I just realized the guy who plays Teddy, Joe Pantoliano. I butchered that last time.
You got it? No?
Yay. He was
Pantoliano.
Yeah, he was also in The Matrix. So it's very funny that the two of them were in The Matrix together.
I saw it once. I didn't really care. I didn't really watch it.
That's okay.
So I haven't actually sat down and actually like tried to watch it.
You may get an opportunity to sit down and watch it sometime. Don't worry.
Is that right?
Maybe.
The Matrix. It's so interesting that she was in The Matrix because wasn't that a box office success?
Oh, it was massive. Yeah, oh yeah.
$465 million. Okay, so it made $400 million.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
It's one of the biggest movies, if you ask me. Like, it's so popular. Like,
I always hear about the fucking pills and shit.
It's funny. It's funny too. Like, because I actually went and saw it in theaters recently. I didn't see it in theaters when it first came out. And it was one of my biggest regrets. Like, I don't know why. Like,
you were like 12.
I was 12. I know, I was young. But I remember watching it at home and thinking, God, this movie would be so good on a big screen. So when it actually came out at our theater, like maybe 3 years ago, I was like, I have to go fucking see this. And it wasn't until watching it that time that I realized how philosophical the movie was. Oh. It's very like, there's a lot of philosophical theory and like about like what is real and stuff. And it's very, but it's fucking, it works very well. But anyway, we're getting off topic.
Scott Pilgrim is like that for me.
Yeah.
I always, if it ever comes back in theaters, I will pay money to go see it.
Yeah.
That would be a fucking movie. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That's an awesome movie.
That would be a fucking movie. All the lights and everything. That'd be fucking good.
Okay. I remember seeing it in theaters. It was good.
Fuck off. I know it was a box office like fail. I know.
Yeah,
it worked after.
Yeah, a lot of movies do though. Like, it's a cult movie, right?
But they were hoping for his name, Michael Cera's name.
Yeah.
Because he was successful at the time.
Either way.
Well, Memento, honestly, I really enjoyed you. I really do. I've actually seen you more than once. I was telling Memento to somebody probably a few months ago before I even knew this was on here. So, I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Me too. I think it's fucking spectacular. It's very I mean, it's not unfortunate, but good for Nolan. Christopher Nolan has his filmography is so fantastic. Like
Right.
all of his movies are huge. That this movie definitely like it just kind of falls to the bottom just because it's like
know.
one of those things. But like it's
When you hear Christopher Nolan, you think of Batman. The first
oh,
thing you think
I think of Batman. I think of Inception,
Inception.
and I think of like well, now I think of like fucking Tenet because it was so big. But like even like
Prestige.
the Prestige was so good, and like Interstellar is a big one that a lot of people talk about when they talk about.
Oh, I forgot he did Interstellar.
He did.
Interstellar was okay.
It was okay. He did Dunkirk, which was fucking amazing.
See, Interstellar did the thing you just said, where it kind of like it was a great movie, and then it kind of went a little too deep for me. That's where you lost me.
That movie was too philosophical.
I was like, man, I don't even know what the fuck. Like, Matthew McConaughey, come back a bit, honey.
Yeah.
What?
And then he did something really cool with Dunkirk. And Dunkirk's just a normal World War II movie. There's nothing
Oh,
like weird about it. Like there's no like nothing supernatural or anything about it like there is with Inception. It's not supernatural, but it's like
Okay.
sci-fi. There's nothing like that with Dunkirk. But it's so it's like three different perspectives. There's
Yeah.
so it's like three different stories, and it's about a there's like a World War II battle, and all of the British soldiers are forced onto this beach, and it's pretty much they're surrounded and they're gonna get murdered, like they're fucked. So it's about the people on the beach, and then it's about the people in the sky, like the planes that are like taking
the
out
Hawks, yeah.
yeah, they're like taking out all the planes that are trying to kill the people on the beach. And then it's the citizens who hear about the people that are stuck on the beach, so they're sailing across the water to pick them up.
Holy
like
shit.
all of the citizens that have anybody that has a boat is like, we have to fucking go save these boys. But the thing that's cool about it is the story on the beach takes place over the course of 1 week. The story in the boats takes place over the course of 1 day, and the story in the planes takes place over the course of 1 hour. But it like they keep fucking
Jesus.
But it's such a hard thing to grasp, the fact that like it's not in chronological order. Like, oh, we're gonna cut to like the beach and then the boat, and then we cut to the beach again. But the beach part is still 2 days before the last scene we just watched. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you meet a character in the boat part of it, and then that character comes back near the end of the movie, but it's before they met him on the boat. Do you see what I'm saying?
You are already inceptioning me.
And I hear you.
Man.
It's a movie that takes at least, you gotta watch it twice, but it's super fucking well done.
Inception, you have to watch at least. You think you get it the first time? Watch it the second time and you'll just catch shit.
No, it's true.
Okay,
And
so Dunkirk, and you said Tenet.
Tenet. Oh, it's fucking weird.
What is it? Tenet?
Tenet. So it's the same word backwards and forwards. And it's fucking, so Tenet. It's fucking weird, and it's really hard to follow. I own it. I've watched it probably 3 times, and it does get better every time I watch it. It's huge. But like, and what it is they figured out a way to reverse time. So like, example, like me and you will be walking, and then we get into this machine and it reverses time for us, but it doesn't like send us back in time. It just reverses time flow. So like, if we want to go 10 years into the past, we have to go in this machine and then wait around for 10 years. Do you see what I'm saying?
That sucks.
Yeah. So it's like, but you can.
So you can't really jump too far. It's kind of like
yeah. So
15
it's like,
minutes ago.
Exactly. So what it's about is like, but everything's, so what it's about is the future is sending like pieces to like it's kind of described as like a nuclear bomb. It's like this like fucking world ender. And to this guy who's like in the past. So they reverse the bomb's flow so it like comes back to us. It's fucking weird.
Jesus.
But it's hard.
Good?
It's interesting. I don't know. Okay. See, the problem is Inception works very well because he spent an hour and a half just telling us what's going to happen. And then the next hour and a half is watching it happen. And it's so cool to watch. Tenet, it's the same length. It's like the same amount of time, except he explains it over the course of like maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it's really...
And it's 2 hours and 40 minutes of you confused.
Exactly. And it's really, really hard to follow. So they describe it like So there's a wall that has a bunch of bullets in it. And then she's like, take that gun. And he's like, what's so special about this gun? And she's like, oh, it's inverted. It's going backwards. And then he's like, but the gun's fucking empty. She's like, pull the trigger. So he pulls the trigger and the bullet comes out of the wall back into the gun. And then, so he keeps pressing it, and then he pulls the clip out, and it's fully loaded now.
Are the people around you going backwards too?
No, but that's the thing. Only the things that go into the machine and are inverted are backwards.
Jesus
So yeah, so
Christ.
if you go into the machine and come out, yeah, everything's going backwards.
Okay.
So, and that's the thing. And you have to like wear like oxygen masks because oxygen, you'll be breathing in carbon dioxide. So you have to wear oxygen masks.
Oh
it's
my
fucking,
God.
Yeah, like
I didn't even think of that.
Right? If there's like fire, you'll like freeze. You won't fucking burn because fire like takes all the oxygen. It's fucking weird. It's like the movie's fucking bizarre.
I think I've heard you talk about it
Yeah.
before. I'm starting to get like little remembrance.
The coolest thing, and like, so they introduce a villain, and this is kind of not really a spoiler because they kind of introduce it like halfway through the movie. And the reason why the villain is so good at like his plans is because what he does is he goes through an action scene like forward, and then he inverts and then does the exact same action scene again backwards. So at all times there are two of him.
Jesus.
And the one that's going backwards knows exactly what's
Where
going to
you
happen.
are.
Yeah. So it's like, so you're looking at him here, then all of a sudden he comes over here on the left. You're like, holy fuck. Like, and there's a lot of like cool things that are done
The
with
guy
that.
behind you knows exactly where you're stepping and what you're doing at that time.
Exactly. And that's it too. And like, and he even like, as soon as he inverts himself and he like walks out, he grabs his like radio and he tells everybody, this is what's going to happen. He's going to fucking go on this. He's going to grab this car. You know what I mean? And then like, so everybody knows what's going to happen except for fucking you.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That sucks. You're like, I'm going to get off their trail. I'm going to take this car.
Yeah, and it gets so fucking crazy. Like some of the shit that you see, you're like, what is going on right now? But it's cool. It's a cool.
So he's really kind of changed his he took Memento and kind of upgraded and then upgraded.
100%. It's like a legit
Did
300.
he film The Matrix?
No. That was the Wachowski siblings.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he like took Memento and he made like a $300 million version of it. Instead of a $4 million, he's like, what if I spent $300 million on this movie? All right? Like,
But really, all these movies are so. My favorite is the Inception on that one planet. Like, shit like that you don't think of.
oh, you mean Interstellar?
Interstellar.
Where it's like
Yeah.
gravity and like if,
and he's like 1 minute on this planet
Yeah.
is like 10 years
And I bet that's
in
a
your
thing.
real life.
Yeah, like-
so go as fast as you can because and they go up and it's been like 20 years and it's
Yeah,
like, oh my
that
God.
sucks.
You can't go back. It's sad. Anyways, it's not sad, but
Anyway, so Memento, you're fantastic, and I like you a lot.
honestly I really love Memento.
Me too. I was really happy. I watched it the other night at like, it was like fucking 1 a.m. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm throwing Memento
You
on.
watched it on your
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
your poor wife.
Yeah. Well, we drank a lot that day. So she was like, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, okay. It was like 12:30. So it was early enough to where I'm like, Memento isn't a very loud
not many
movie.
loud.
Yeah.
It's more like just conversations.
Yeah, like I did that like a while ago too with like 12 Angry Men. I was like, I know 12 Angry Men isn't very loud. We'll throw that on here.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? I did it with Alien as well because it's a pretty quiet movie, but
Seven is.
we'll get to that one later.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or maybe it was before this. Who knows? Inception. Oh no, Tenet.
Yeah. Tenet, yeah.
Anywho.
All right, that's it. And see you guys next episode. Bye, 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 bye.